What's up, friends? Today we are continuing our coverage on the Hoyt Tabor and the Metroboard Pathfinder. Today we're going to be continuing our series of PEV trials. It's been a while since I've done one of these episodes, but this is the perfect fit for it, and I got to experience these boards for a very short while at Eastgate Con and form a small opinion of what I think of them. So today we're going to be going over a couple of things for each board and reviewing the footage that I took at Eastgate Con where I didn't get any audio, so this is the substitute for that. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and if you want to see more Hoyt Tabor content, I think I might have an opportunity to do some more testing with that in the near future. So get subscribed for that, or leave a comment down below to let me know what you want to see on the Tabor. So let's go ahead and jump right into this kind of analysis and opinions. All right, so we're going to start off with the Metroboard Pathfinder. Now, this board is quite interesting. It is Metroboard's take on a DKP board, and if you guys aren't familiar, the X22 and I think the X.0 or something like that were previously available from Hoyt, and this is their newest version, coming in a little bit shorter, a little bit cheaper, and a slightly different design. So first thing we're going to talk about is the deck. Now, interestingly enough, the Tabor and the Pathfinder actually share exactly the same deck shape. It's the same mold. They're cut a little bit differently to allow for a different amount of clearance to the wheels, but the deck itself is the same, and the deck is awesome. This is a, I believe, maple and composite deck. I could be wrong. Wait, actually it probably says on my convenient little cards here, deck, yes, carbon fiber wrapped 10-ply maple. So if you recall, the X22, that used to be a unibody carbon build, but this one is wooden, and the footwells on this are awesome. It makes it super easy to carve, and I have size 10.5 feet ish, and I like to have a deck that's wide enough to completely cover my feet, and this felt awesome, super comfortable. And surprisingly enough, the screw heads that stick up off the deck a little bit, you can't feel them at all. Really not something to worry about. So that was really awesome for me, and I enjoyed the deck. I think that's probably my favorite part of these two boards, and we're curious to see if Hoyt or Metroboard will ever offer that as a DIY option, because that would be pretty cool. I think they will, but it'll probably be quite expensive because, you know, their stuff is high quality. So for the wheels on this, I think it will be shipping with default, well, it depends on what you pick. You can either get it with cloud wheels or the Metro 153s, and the board that I was riding at Eastgate Con here was the Metro 153s. So they were pretty nice. They weren't on the final wheels, so I can't say for sure, but they felt pretty good for small pneumatic tires. They were pretty skinny, so I'm not sure how that grip will work out when compared to a wider 6-inch tire, but they felt pretty nice, and yeah, not too much to complain about there. I'm not sure if I would personally get this with cloud wheels. They're not my favorite kind of wheel, but BKB wheels or BKB tires would work awesome on here as well. So yeah, some things to think about. The remote for both of these boards is the Hoyt puck, and the Hoyt puck is good. It's fine. Like, there's no bells and whistles. It just works. It will always stay connected to your board, and it's super predictable. So yeah, not too much to say about that. Always gotta love the throttle lock capabilities that you have on the Hoyt puck. Just super convenient. I wish more people would do that. Now, I really don't need to say much about the remote because it's just a Hoyt puck. Almost everyone knows what that is nowadays. So we're gonna move on to the performance of this thing. Now, the performance between these two boards is actually fairly similar. We do have some differences in the gear ratios because of the different sized wheels. The Hoyt Tabor will ship with urethane or the 5-inch pneumatics, but the cloud wheels coming in at 123 millimeters and the Metro is coming at 153. They're both a bit bigger. So to compensate for that, we have a slightly different gear ratio on the larger pneumatic tires. On the Metro, we've got a 15 to 60 gear ratio, which is a 4.0 ratio. Pretty decent for 6-inch tires. I think that should give you a good amount of torque. When I was riding this on the track, of course, I wasn't going super hard because this is my first time riding it, and I didn't want to fall. So it felt pretty torquey to me. The torque or the acceleration curve was nice and smooth. If you really lay into it, you can get a decent amount of torque, and it was satisfactory. The braking as well, I didn't go super hard on the track here. Again, this is PEV trials. I didn't have a ton of time with this, but I did enjoy the braking experience. It was nice and smooth, predictable, and yeah, I think you guys are probably more interested in what the trucks feel like, and let's talk about the turning on this a little bit. So I like DKP trucks. They have their place. I don't like to ride them fast typically, but I recently have been spending a decent amount of time on a DKP board, the X-Way Atlas Pro, and honestly, these Metroboard trucks I think are the most similar to those DKPs of any DKP that I've felt, which is that they are fairly stable. They don't quite feel like the Bang average double kingpin, which generally can be quite unstable, especially past 25 miles an hour. But these Metroboard ones felt really nice. I think they were good. Personally, they did feel a little bit stiff for double kingpins for me, but that does compare to the X-Way Atlas Pro, which seems to have similar stability, at least in the ride that I was comparing it on. Now, the Metroboard trucks here, of course, are fully CNC'd aluminum, so you don't have to worry about any cast truck snapping or the pivot cups breaking out or anything like that. So with these DKPs, you're going to be getting some of the highest quality DKPs on the entire market, in my opinion anyway. I'm sure the Hoyt guys would agree with that. And yeah, they're great trucks. They look good. They're a slightly different design than the X22 trucks, as they don't have the built-in headlights. But I've been told that they are working on a headlight solution for these boards. Not sure what that is yet. So overall, this board is pretty awesome. Honestly, both of these boards are awesome, but in my short amount of time on this, it made me want to ride it a little bit more. When we talk about the Tabor, I have a preference here, and the Tabor for me is a lot better. But these double kingpins are nice, and I think a lot of people will find them satisfactory for their riding needs. So let's go ahead and move on to the Tabor. All right, so here we are with the Hoyt Tabor, and this was the second board that I rode, and wow, this thing is pretty awesome. Honestly, excluding my own DIYs, I would say that this is probably one of the best street boards that I've ridden, and I got a very, very small amount of time on it. Now, there are some things here that I don't quite agree with. They're not to my style, but I think you could change them, and yeah, let's just get into it. So, the deck, we have let's check my fact cards and make sure I'm getting this correct. Is 100% bamboo top deck here, paired with that new composite enclosure, composite sort of material. I don't know what it is for sure. I guess it's glass-filled nylon, but not 100% sure. They wouldn't confirm it with me. But yeah, so we got that 100% bamboo top deck. Has a little bit of flex to it. A nice amount of flex. I would say that it's noticeable, but it's not like a flexy board. Obviously, that's not what they were going for here. Now, this deck is shorter than the UAV. I'm not sure how many inches it comes in at. I believe it says 32-inch wheelbase, axle to axle, so my guess is about 36-inch deck, and it's nice and compact. Personally, I like to ride with a super wide stance, and I found that I was able to grip into these footwells. Again, same deck mold as the Pathfinder. I was able to grip into these footwells really well, super comfortable, just feels really nice, and I think most people that have tried it will agree with me on that. Now, for me, I'm not really a bamboo guy. I really like the dark wood decks that Hoyt does, so maybe one day they'll come out with the Tabor in that dark wood. That would be pretty nice. But the aesthetics for me here, not really as much what I like. The cutouts on the wheel wells are not quite as nice as the Pathfinder either. So for me, I'd probably want the Tabor, but on the Pathfinder deck. But, you know, same mold, different cutouts. Metroboard ones are better in my opinion. So yeah, great deck, but not the best looking for me. Wheels, I actually rode this Tabor in 2 different configurations, one with the 111 millimeter urethane and the other with the 5-inch pneumatics. Now, on the urethane, we're rocking the Hoyt 111 Zubom wheels, and they're fine. I mean, they're urethane. I think they're comparable to the Torqueboard 110s. If you've ridden those before, they're kind of an old wheel at this point, but they felt like urethane. Not the most grippy thing in the world, especially on the track when there's dust and stuff. If you like urethane, you'll probably like these. I'm not a urethane guy most of the time. I ride urethane on the street boards that I review because that's part of the reviewing process. But if I were to order this board, it would definitely be with the Hoyt 5-inch tires, which are 123 millimeters for those that are trying to convert that in their head. So yeah, wheels, gonna go with the 5-inch pneumatics, and I believe I got some footage of that coming up here on screen pretty soon. And excuse me. Yeah, so the remote on this board, we're moving on, is the Hoyt Puck again. Same thing, nub throttle, feels nice. Nothing really to say about that. It'll be super predictable, super reliable. It's what you want, really. Moving on to the performance of this thing. Like I said, the performance between these boards is fairly similar. At this smaller size wheel, we have the same exact gear ratio of 2.8 to 1. And both of these boards will give you 36 mile an hour top speed plus. It'll probably go faster than that, but on the Tabor with the Zubom 111s, it did feel like similar power to the Metro on the 6 inches, but again, I didn't really send it very hard. So once I get some more time with the Tabor, then maybe I'll have a better formed opinion of it. The torque is good. Once you get into the throttle curve, it's definitely got some zippiness to it. But really, I didn't want to push it very hard on the urethane because I just felt like it was slippery. But now we got some 5-inch pneumatic footage on the screen, and these pneumatics are nice. I've never ridden a pneumatic this small before. Of course, most people won't have because they don't exist. As far as I know, this is the only marketed 5-inch pneumatic out there at the time, at this time anyway. And these things are nice and grippy. They just stick to the ground, despite the super skinny contact patch, which I thought might affect the grippiness. They're quite grippy. And these are paired with the Hoyt 5-inch wheels. Not really a huge fan of the Hoyt wheel design. Personally, I don't feel attached to that kind of design language. Nothing personal really, it's just an opinion. I do like the look of the new nylon rims, which are black, and I think those fit the tires much better than the silver styling. But, you know, some people probably like these rims a lot. It's just not me. Tires, though, they're pretty great. They stick to the ground, and yeah, they were much more enjoyable to ride than the urethane, in my opinion. Braking on this board, pretty good as well. Of course, you know, we're just going off of, you got Vesk in there, you've got your 2.8 or your, what's the other ratio? 3.2 to 1 on the Hoyt 5-inch. And braking is good. You're going to stop on hills. You've got smart reverse, I'm pretty sure. So you don't have to worry about, you know, rolling down hills. You can always catch yourself with smart reverse. So good there. Good tuning of it all. It felt really smooth. Again, this is something that is more common on Vesk boards and DIYs. They just feel really nice because Vesk just does that stuff really nice. There's no jerkiness and no sketchy braking or anything like that. So yeah, great experiences there. Great experience with the 5-inch tires. And let's talk about the best part of this board, which is the trucks. I said the deck was the best part. It's also great, but the trucks on this thing, man, they're just, I thought people, like, there's this thing going around where people are like, oh, Hoyt Rosa trucks are magical. And I'm like, really? I mean, they're just street trucks. But once you get on these things, you'll understand the hype, and the hype is real. These are actually a smaller version of the Hoyt Rosa trucks that you'll find on the bigger boards like the UAV and the Dad bod. They're shrunk down, a little bit skinnier, more maneuverable. But man, for me, these Rosa trucks, they were great. The turning range throughout the right to left is super predictable. The centering is just perfect for my weight, about 175 pounds. And yeah, I didn't touch the trucks at all while I was there at the event, and I rode the board for like 10 minutes, right? So you have to take everything with a grain of salt, but great experience. These trucks are probably the best production trucks I've ever ridden. They even probably trump like other CNC trucks with riptide bushings that I've tried before. So yeah, really great job on those, Hoyt. I'm looking forward to riding the Tabor some more. And yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything about these two boards that I wanted to talk about. So yeah, subscribe if you want to learn some more about these boards in the future. Hopefully I'll get to test them some more, because yeah, they've been some of my favorite boards that I've ridden recently. And yeah, get subscribed for that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a comment below. Leave me a comment to tell me how to improve, whatever you want. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, keep on riding, and peace out.